Hello Stampers, it's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and today I have a fun project that you're going to want to share at your next 4th of July barbecue. It's a treat box with Uncle Sam, and you can see there's plenty of room to fill it inside with lots of goodies. So let me pull over my supplies and show you how to make this. The first thing you're going to need is an 8x8 piece of paper. This is for the box. And then you're going to need this for the handle, and this is 1 inch by 9 inch. You're going to need a circle for the face, and this is approximately 3 1/4 inch, but you can adjust it to how much room you want to take up on the front. And then also, I just cut a couple extra strips because you can choose what you want to use for this part here. This one I just used a Night of Navy piece and added some stars, but you choose the way you want it to look. Now, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but I needed something for the mustache, and this is what I used. I used to have a mustache die, but I don't, and I'm sure a lot of you don't have a mustache die in your stock. So what I used is I went to my flowers and tried to find something that I could use there, and actually what I used is something from Fawn, and it's the Tulip set, and this is part for the petals. So look through your flower stamps, dies, see what you can come up with. I also used a couple stars, and this is a Stampin' Up stitched star, but of course, again, if you have a punch or different size star, go ahead and use it. Just use what you have. Now, I will tell you that I did not come up with this video. I saw this with Stamping with Amore, and I changed a couple things, so you can also check out her video. But I'm going to get started and show you how to make this box. The first thing we're going to do is take our 8x8 piece of paper, and we do need to score it in a couple places. So we're going to score this at 3 inches and 5 inches, and then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score at 2 inches and 6 inches. Now this is just white cardstock. It is 110-pound weight. You want it to be a little heavier when you're making a box. And now we do need to score on all, or burnish on all of those score lines. So let's go ahead and do that first. And then we will need a pair of scissors because we're going to do a little bit of cutting. We're going to cut on this small square here on both sides. So we just want to cut up to that first score line. And then I also like to cut a little bit of an angle off of there. It just helps the box stay together a little better. And we're going to turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. Now I have found if I cut leaving the scored part on the inside, it helps the box to come together a little bit better. It's not a game changer. It will still fold together just fine. Now you also need to decide what you're going to use as your adhesive. I usually use liquid adhesive, but you can use tear and tape or something else stronger. You just decide what's right for you. I'm going to fold this first flap in and put some adhesive on here, and then I'm going to bring this up and just make sure that it's adhered to this back flap. Now I want to make sure that I have adhesive on this side so that it will close this end of the box up. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some adhesive over here and hold it together. And now when I make this side, the other side, I want to make sure that I'm going to put the flap the same way that I did this one. So this front flap is going back that way. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive back on this flap again, this small flap. And then just checking one more time. This is the one that goes to the front. And then put a little more adhesive, and I'm going to bring that one to the back. And so again, now both flaps go to the back, so I'm going to make this the back of my box. And again, this is just a circle. I cut this out in petal pink, but you can use any color you want for Uncle Sam. And if you don't have a 3.5 inch circle, you can always trace a cup. You can use a circle that you have. You can make it a little smaller if that's what you have. So I'm going to go ahead and get some adhesive on here, and I'm just going to try to center that in my box. And now I'll put this one over here so we can see a little better. We want to add this banner. And again, that one I just used Night of Navy. I cut out a couple patriotic papers that I had just to show you that you can use any paper that you want. So I think this time I'll go with this one. Well, maybe I'll go with this striped one. I kind of like this striped one a little bit. So I'm going to put some adhesive on that. Now with Stampin' with Amore, she did not have a mustache die. So what she did is she just cut one out and then traced it to make the other one. That's perfectly fine. Whatever works for you. If you are good at freehand, you could also download something from the internet and trace it that way. As crafters, we just have to learn to use what we have and make the best of it. All right, so I'm just hooking these 3 stars together so that I have them ready to adhere to my box. And I did red, white, and Night of Navy from Stampin' Up. Now I do need to make the eyes, and so I have this 3/8 inch punch. And I'm going to cut a couple black circles. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to cut his nose out of that same punch. And then I'll go ahead and I'm going to just put the eyes on. I probably should have put them on and looked at where the placement. I'm just going with it here. All right, so we're going to put those on. And now let's talk about the mustache. Again, I'm using this. This is a tulip die from Lawn Fawn, and this happens to be a leaf petal. Now look, I could have used also that one's just a single leaf petal. So just use what you have. Again, look through your floral things. See if you have anything at Christmas that might have something that looks like a mustache. And that's what I did with these, is just cut them out. Now before I put these on, what I want to do is use some of this pink. It's going to give him some rosy cheeks. So I'm just using this little brush here with some Distress Oxide. I'm using Kitsch Flamingo. And I'm kind of eyeballing where I just want some of that rosy cheek. All right, and I'm going to put my ink away so that I don't end up with it on my project. And then this one I'm going to kind of eyeball here before I glue them down. And then his nose, I am going to put on with a dimensional. And then we're going to go ahead and put the stars on with some dimensionals. I thought it would be cute to have them pop up just a little bit. And then this one I did do a little twine bow, so I'll go ahead and do that again. I thought it just added one more little bit of dimension there. And then I'm going to hook that on with a glue dot, so I'll just roll it up so that it doesn't stick on anything else. And then the last thing we need to do is put our handle on, and this is 1 inch by 9 inch, and what I'm going to do is just put it in here, and I kind of use this cut line right here from where that tab is to determine where I let it go. So if you can see, I just butt it right up next to that and put it in the center. I'm going to hold that for just a second here and let the adhesive adhere. And then let me do the other side. And then there we go. We have this done. So again, I'm sorry, I can't remember if I gave all the dimensions. I will try to type something below and leave it in the notes and let you know. But again, the box is made out of 8 by 8, scored at 3 inches and 5 inches. You're going to turn it and score at 2 inches and 6 inches. This little tab for his hat right here is 1 inch by 4 inch. And then again, the handle is 1 inch by 9 inches. And then the one last thing that I'm going to do, just to give him a little more dimension, as you can see in his eye, I'm taking a white gel pen and I'm just going to draw a little half circle mark there so that there's some dimension. Maybe I'll do it on his nose too. And then as soon as that dries, you'll be able to see it a little better. So I'm going to set that one aside. I wanted to just give you an idea of a couple things that I might be putting in this. So I did find some little, of course it's going to depend on who you're giving it to, but these are just little things that you light and they smoke. And I found this really cute ice cream pen, and I thought maybe a little granola bar would be cute. I have some glow sticks. Of course, everybody needs glow sticks on 4th of July, and then a little pack of sparklers. So let me just put these in real quick. And you can see that makes a really cute treat for your 4th of July party. And of course, you can always put candy because everyone loves candy or other drink mixes. You could put some Petal packets in there or any other kind of candy because people enjoy that a lot. Again, I hope that you enjoy this project and that you find it useful for a 4th of July party this year. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please be sure and like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.